Hello, we're back today to talk about compassion with the group, the Wisdom Words by the Bridge Group. So how would you say that compassion might be different than gentleness?
Well, I think you should have a sense of how other people are feeling.
You mean with compassion?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sense if they are sad or worried or happy. Just be compassionate to feel along with them.
That's an interesting point you raise, feeling along with them.
Which is very hard to do when they try to make us hate the enemy. I think,
Who's making us hate anybody?
well, I hear some people who do that. In fact, I just heard somebody this morning, which I won't go into. But I think we need to feel compassion for anybody in any war. No matter which side we're on, the people who are, it's the people who live there are not the same as the leaders who run the country, who shoot the people, who give the orders. And I don't think we're compassionate enough sometimes for the people who are in the war. And I think we should be compassionate for ourselves when we get hurt as well as for other people.
I think
agree.
compassion is like putting yourself in the other person's place. And if you don't allow yourself to do that, then the opposite may be hatred. Especially when you talk about your enemies. It's so easy to be on sides. I'm on the blue side, you're on the red side.
Yeah.
We, they. That's what we do in war. That's what we do in politics.
Are we talking compassion or competitiveness?
No, compassion.
And
Yeah.
Marion's point is we should be compassionate toward the innocent
Everybody.
victim of everybody, rather than just our side instead of the enemy's side. Is that what you meant?
Well, I think we should at least
Ideally.
notice them, yeah. I mean, feel sorry for them too.
Just because they're another human being.
That's right. They're in the same boat we're in when you get right down to it, in so many ways.
Right,
We're just
exactly.
people, here we are, and how do we live through this? How do we survive?
Good point.
And that brings in another thing that we've discussed before, is being aware of somebody else.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Yeah.
just have a feeling for them, even though it may not be something that you agree with,
Right.
just being aware of them, and as a result you have compassion for them. That can work almost every day.
Yeah.
Almost every time, almost with every person, but not everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're right.
Well, you mean unless compassion is returned to you as well.
Well, there's that problem. But, I don't know, seems to me, well, I won't get into I was thinking,
Experience, you mean.
it's just there's a lot of mean people out there. And some of them, if you got to know them, you may not notice the meanness as much, or you might give them a reason to be mean, which doesn't excuse them. But people get hurt as children and do things when they're adults that are terrible. And I don't know what you can do about that. Except be aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see compassion being played out in the world?
Not very well sometimes.
You-
Even myself, I'm not always compassionate.
Right. No, I'm not either.
You know?
I strive to be, but it just doesn't always make it. I don't always make it.
And sometimes it's hard to explain if your compassion, a feeling that you have being compassion to someone else, you may not be interpreting what that person is actually going through.
It's true.
And to have compassion, you really have to sort of try and put your self in their shoes.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
as
this
you
is going
mentioned
to-
earlier, walking in somebody
Yeah.
else's shoes. You can't, if you haven't had that experience, it makes it hard to be compassionate.
See, now, I have trouble with people who think they're Christians, but they only really follow the Old Testament and never mind what Jesus taught. That's where I have a problem with religion. I'm not against Jesus or what he taught. I thought he was great. And
Had a
he
lot of compassion.
He had a lot of compassion.
Right, right. Well, there are some thoughts about compassion. And join us tomorrow, and religion. And join us tomorrow for strength. Thank you.